The observation deck of the Kepler station hummed with the usual background radiation of deep space operations. Jennifer Chen pressed her palm against the reinforced viewport, watching the Jothic fleet materialize from quantum fold space. 17 warships, each the size of a metropolitan district, their hulls rippling with gravitational shielding that bent starlight into prismatic halos. "They're hailing again," Alex Rodriguez said from the communications console, his fingers dancing across holographic interfaces. "Fifth time in the last hour. The translation algorithms are getting better at parsing their language structure, but the message hasn't changed." Jennifer turned from the window, her jaw tight. "Let me guess. They want the miracle healing technology that saved Ambassador Kreenath's offspring." Word for word. Alex pulled up the transmission log, alien glyphs cascading down the display alongside their rough English translations. "They're calling it a cellular regeneration matrix of unprecedented capability. They've offered us technological exchanges, territorial concessions, even a seat on their High Council." Jennifer laughed, a sharp sound without humor. She walked to her personal locker and pulled out a small, battered first aid kit that looked like it had survived 3 lunar tours and a Martian dust storm. From inside, she extracted a sheet of colorful adhesive bandages decorated with cartoon dinosaurs. "This," she said, holding up a bandage between 2 fingers, "is what they're ready to start an interstellar incident over." Alex stared at the children's Band-Aid, then back at Jennifer, then at the alien armada filling the viewport. "You're joking." "I wish I was." Jennifer sat down at the conference table, gesturing for Alex to join her. 3 days ago, during the cultural exchange ceremony, Ambassador Kreenath brought her cub. That's what the translators called the juvenile, anyway. The little one was curious, kept touching everything. When we toured the hydroponics bay, it scraped its appendage on the corner of a cultivation unit. "I remember hearing about that," Alex said slowly. "There was some concern about contamination protocols." "Right. The wound was superficial, barely broke the dermal layer equivalent. But the cub started making this distressed sound. And the ambassador looked ready to call off the entire diplomatic summit." Jennifer pulled up a holographic medical scan on the table interface. "I did what any human would do. I cleaned the wound with antiseptic, checked for serious damage, and put a Band-Aid on it, a dinosaur Band-Aid specifically, because I figured a scared kid is a scared kid, regardless of species." The scan showed the Jothic cub's physiology in translucent layers. Alex leaned forward, studying the data. "What am I looking at?" "This is the scan we took 6 hours after the incident, standard procedure for alien contact injuries. Look at the wound site." Jennifer expanded the image, highlighting a small area on what approximated the cub's forearm. Alex's eyes widened. There's barely any trace of trauma. The cellular structure looks completely normal." "Exactly. What should have taken their species 2 to 3 planetary rotations to heal closed completely in under a day. No scarring, no inflammation response, nothing. From their perspective, I performed a medical miracle." Jennifer rubbed her temples. "The ambassador filed a report with her government. They analyzed the Band-Aid I gave them as a cultural gift. Now they think we have technology that accelerates healing at the cellular level." "Do we?" Alex asked. "I mean, is there something in the adhesive, some compound they might not have?" Jennifer pulled up another hologram, this one showing the chemical composition of a standard adhesive bandage. Polyethylene backing, acrylic adhesive, absorbent pad made of cotton and synthetic fibers. There's a small amount of benzalkonium chloride as an antiseptic, but that's it. Nothing revolutionary, nothing that would cause accelerated healing. Then what happened? That's what took me 2 days to figure out. Jennifer overlaid the Jothic physiological data with human biochemical markers. Humans and Jathic evolved under similar stellar classifications, G-type main sequence stars, similar radiation profiles, similar planetary magnetic fields. But our evolutionary paths diverged significantly in one key area: wound response. She highlighted a cluster of proteins in the human data. Humans produce a complex cascade of growth factors, cytokines, and chemokines when we're injured. Our healing process is actually incredibly sophisticated. We just don't think about it because it's automatic. The Jathic, by comparison, have a much slower, more conservative healing response. It's efficient for their biology, but it takes time. So what changed with the cub? The Band-Aid created an optimal healing environment, kept the wound moist, protected from contamination, maintained proper temperature and pressure. For humans, that maybe speeds healing by 20 or 30%. For Jathic physiology, which apparently responds very sensitively to environmental factors during wound healing, it was transformative. Jennifer smiled grimly. I accidentally optimized their healing process with a 70-cent piece of adhesive plastic. Alex stood up, walking to the viewport where the alien fleet waited. They're not going to accept that answer. To them, you've demonstrated technology they don't possess. Technology they believe could revolutionize their medical capabilities. I know. Jennifer joined him at the window. I've prepared a full briefing. Comparative physiology, healing mechanisms, the works. I'm going to explain that what they saw wasn't advanced technology, just a favorable interaction between their biology and basic wound care. And if they don't believe you? Jennifer looked at the fleet, each ship bristling with weapon systems that could atomize the station in seconds. Then I guess I'll have to teach them about the real advanced technology, mass production. Because if they want these miracle healing devices, Earth can probably manufacture about 50 billion of them a year. Alex laughed despite the tension. Dinosaurs and all? Dinosaurs and all. Jennifer squared her shoulders. Alex, open a channel to the flagship. It's time to explain to an interstellar civilization that sometimes the most powerful technology is the simplest one, if you understand the science behind it. As the communication link established, Jennifer picked up one more Band-Aid from her kit, this one featuring a cheerful cartoon T-Rex wearing a stethoscope. She smiled slightly. Sometimes, she thought, the universe had a strange sense of humor. The Jathic were about to learn that human medicine wasn't about miracle cures. It was about understanding biology, solving problems practically, and yes, occasionally making injuries a little less scary with cartoon dinosaurs. She just hoped they'd find that explanation sufficient. The fleet continued its silent vigil outside the viewport, waiting for answers that would either forge a new era of cooperation or spark a conflict neither species wanted. Jennifer took a deep breath and began her presentation.